Hi, Bashar. I'm Diana Prime, and I'm a relationship coach. And the issue that I'm having is that I don't know how to help my clients. I have a lot of men that come to me who are disconnected from their heart center and haven't felt love or high vibrational emotions in a very, very long time. And I've been there before, and I know how hard it is to come out of that place. And it really took the physical safety and feeling the warmth of a man within a relationship for me to feel safe enough to calm my nervous system down, to open up to those emotions and lean into them and have those breakthroughs. So I don't know how to help a man online that doesn't have this safety, that doesn't have a person in their life, to reach these breakthroughs and push through that discomfort and challenge those belief systems. I don't know how to begin to ask the right questions or help them, and I really want to.
We would strongly suggest that you explore with them any connection at all of any kind to anything that allows them to open up their hearts even just a little bit. It could be a connection to an animal. It could be a connection to the cosmos. Find what they love in life, in general, anything at all, and begin to explore the story that they're telling themselves from that point of view, why they love that thing, and therefore allow them to begin to expand their heart opening by exploring something that they already love, whether it has to do with a human relationship or not. There will be something you can find that they love. You can begin that way.
Hello, good day. Bashar, thank you.
It is our passion and our pleasure. What would you like to discuss?
Okay, I have a bunch of stuff. We'll see how much we get through. First, I'd like to better understand the relationship between our individual and collective realities at this time of transformation. And you said
Yes.
you are going through an idea of transformation, and you are agreeing to do that in your own respective parallel realities together. So the way I understand that is that we're creating our own individual realities, but we have agreed upon ideas such as we're living on a planet called Earth and in a year called 2023. So each of us creates their own version of Earth,
Yes.
and whoever's on our frequency will be on that same version of Earth with us. Is that right?
Well, yes, you'll create a similar version and agree to share that idea. You're not literally on the same planet, but you can create your version to be so similar to someone else's version that it would seem so in physical terms.
Ah, okay. Is this related to the idea of a prism that I've heard you speak about? That we
There's
can.
a splitting prism, yes.
Yes, I'm fairly new to your work. I'm catching up. Could you describe that briefly to me, this idea of the prism?
Well, the idea is to understand that any version of Earth you can imagine already exists simultaneously. They all exist at the same time because time is an illusion. So everything exists at once, any version of Earth you can imagine. And therefore, as your consciousness navigates itself, shifts itself through all these different versions to create what you call a timeline, a lifespan, you are literally experiencing a multitude of different Earths billions of times per second. You're navigating yourself based on your vibrational frequency, based on your intentional focus through the different Earths in a manner, in a sequence that will allow you to experience continuity, going from what you call the so-called past to the so-called future. But that's a linear way to experience the idea of process and change. And it is all up to you to decide exactly where you're navigating to or through. But at this timing on your planet, because of the transformations you've agreed you should be experiencing, you can split now off from different people in different directions to experience different Earths that eventually one will no longer experience the other's experience of Earth. You'll only experience the ones that are similar enough on your wavelength so that you are all coherent and in harmony with whatever it is you have decided to experience as a version of Earth, while others you may be interacting with now may go off in a different direction and experience ultimately a completely different set of Earths. And the two will no longer meet. The two will no longer agree. The two will no longer experience each other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Other people have said that the Earth itself is going through a transformation and ascension. But does that really mean, though, that
Yes.
all versions of Earth are going higher? Because we're all going higher, but we
Well, you're not all going higher. That's the
true.
point.
Yeah, you're right.
Some will go to a more dense negative direction. Some will go to a higher direction. Some will go in between. There are many different versions. So the idea is that that includes the Earth because you're shifting. Everything shifts. You're in a different universe, literally billions of times a second. Everything shifts. Any change is a total change.
Wow. Okay. And at what level are these shifts occurring? For example, are the cells in my body, do they have enough are they shifting billions of times per second independent of, quote, my shifts?
Let me put it this way. You are not in the same body moment to moment. You are in the body that is relevant to the Earth you're on. So it's not like the cells have to shift. The idea is your consciousness is shifting, but there is already a physical representation in all the different Earths, if you so choose there to be. So it's not like the cells have to shift. They're already inhabiting the Earth you're shifting to.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's just your consciousness that's shifting.
Yes.
It's like a projector light going through frames on a film strip. The idea is that the film strip, each frame is its own frame. But as the projector light illuminates it, you get a different experience, a different scenario. But the frame is already there. The frame contains everything that it needs to contain. It's a whole frame. It's the projector light that is shifting from frame to frame.
Okay. All right. I think this is starting to make sense at a different level. Thank
All
you.
right.
I love this whole idea of parallel realities. Okay.
Yes.
Can differences in channel information about historical figures be attributed to the channels tapping into different parallel realities?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That doesn't mean it's always the case, but yes, it can be contributed to that or attributed to that in certain cases. Yes.
That makes sense. All right. Different stream of thought. Many of us were taught that energy cannot be created or destroyed.
That is true.
Yeah, I can see that it can't be destroyed, but isn't it created all the time from the quantum vacuum? Or is there an already infinite amount of energy in the vacuum?
There is already an infinite amount. It may change its form, it may change its expression, but it is not being created. It exists already because it's the vibration of existence itself.
Got it. Okay, great. That's what I was thinking. Okay, you say in chapter 12 of Masters of Limitation that the law of attraction is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. But the definition I've always heard is more like one of your laws of existence. What you put out, you get back. Or another version is that which is like unto itself is drawn. So those two concepts seem very different to me. The one says there's an equal and opposite reaction.
The equal and opposite reaction is usually something that's more physically expressed. The idea of the law of attraction is something that's more expressed in terms of energy reflections.
Yeah. Okay. So they're just referring to different levels or different fractals or whatever you want to call that.
Yes.
Okay. Different densities, maybe.
Yes. One is more an expression of the physics of physical reality. The other is more an expression of the consciousness reflections that you experience in energy terms.
Okay. All right. The law that everything exists now.
Yes.
Does this mean that what we perceive as cause and effect at the physical level is just a temporary construct, an idea? Because it seems to me. Okay. That's what I thought.
Everything happens at once. The cause and the effect exist simultaneously.
It's only our perception of time that makes it look like cause and effect.
Correct.
Okay.
Because then you get to experience process. You get to experience change. You get to discover something new about yourself from a different perspective. And that's how you actually grow. Because the structure of existence never changes. What changes is your relationship to it, your perspective of it, your experience of it. That's how creation expands.
Lovely. That's beautiful. I'm sure you've heard of many people wear or have these protection devices that are supposed to be protecting them from electromagnetic fields. Are they basically just permission slips that
Yes.
help us believe that we're stable and healthy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, sometimes, depending on the device, there may be some physics to it. There may be some science to it. But for the most part, those things are about being permission slips that align with a belief system. Whether or not they are effective depends upon the honesty with which a person is in touch with what they actually believe to be true.
Yes, I get that. Okay, that's great. That's great. And this is my last question if we have time. Could you share with me, I know you shared this before, but I just haven't caught up, your basic definitions of oversoul, soul, and higher mind?
You can look at it this way. The oversoul could be looked at as a collection of individual souls, but it knows itself as a unified being, but experiences simultaneously all of the individual souls that are extensions of it, in much the same way that your fingers are extensions of a hand. The soul is one of the individual extensions, the finger. The higher mind is that portion of the soul that remains non-physical while it projects a portion of itself into the idea or dream of the idea of being physical. So it creates a physical mind to have a physical experience, but retains a portion of itself, perhaps even the larger portion of itself, in non-physical reality as the soul. So you have oversoul, individual soul, broken down into non-physical higher mind and physical mind to have a physical incarnational experience. Does that help?
Yes, that's intuitively what I was thinking. And I guess the more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Like, so are oversouls related to certain qualities, or like science or beauty or music? Do they have?
They can be archetypally connected to certain concepts in that way. They don't have to be. They can be connected to multiple concepts as well. But in terms of the idea of the approximately 8 billion individual souls and incarnations on your planet, this is representative of only about 300,000 to 500,000 oversouls.
Wow. Yeah. And so let's say the oversoul of which my soul is a part is, let's call it purple. Does that mean that my soul is purple?
Well, your soul may have that purple vibration, but it may also be overlaid with other colors that are representative of what that individual soul's journey is all about.
Got it. Okay. I think we have covered all of my questions, and I am so grateful for this interaction with you, Bashar. Thank you so much.
Our deep appreciation to you as well, Aveo.
Aveo.